Nicholas live here with John, the expert 10-year trader, and David, a 30-year expert trader, just covering awesome updates because our trades have been doing very well, and we also have another new trade for you guys now. John, how is our current stops looking, and are we raising them right now?
Okay, hey, thanks, Nicholas, and welcome to all the traders and investors out there. We've got a great update for you. Let's get right to it. We're going to talk about the specifics of the two trades we shared in prior shows, but we always start with the daily. We're going to take a quick look at the current market, and then you're going to see where things stand. And then we got a new trade we want to share with you that we're really excited about because it's something that's going on right now with Monero. So if you take a look at the current state of the large crypto market, which is Bitcoin and the largest altcoins, you're looking for differences. You're just wanting to get a feel for what's going on. Everything's green, everything's looking good, and then bam, all of a sudden Ethereum Classic is red. And it's like, just think to yourself, why is that different? Well, Ethereum Classic went up quite a bit the last few days, and it looks like it might be a head fake. They shot it up, got you to chase it, and now they're moving everything else up. So you just want to be aware of things like that as you're looking at your trades, because some of these things may come back into play when you're deciding entries, stops, and even which coins to trade. So let's jump in and take a look at our trades and show you how we've done. We're going to start with Bitcoin, and we've got the trading pro, David, to walk you through how he set us up. I think that was our follow-up, wasn't it? Let's go back to the first one we did so you can really see the process. David, why don't you walk us through what we did, what we're doing, and what we're going to do?
Okay, if we look back at the trade, thanks, John. We made it back on the 8th of February, where we got in when Bitcoin jumped over 8,400 and broke out of that support that we had been looking at. It actually sold off then. We had a stop in the 72 to 7,400 range. And it ended up getting just above that. We got a little bit fortunate that it reversed just above our stop, and it's pretty much been on a nice run since then. We've been able to raise our stop several times since then, and we're doing that so that we're not letting this big run that we've seen turn into anything but a nice winner for us. So
let me interject. I just want to interject one quick thing for the viewers out there. Everything David said shows that we kept it safe, we kept it tight, but we also anticipated the pattern almost exactly the way it played out. It shot up in a breakout, got everybody chasing, retested. We had moved our stops up to stay even safer, survived the retest, and now we're up over 9,000, way in the profit. Back to you, David.
Right. So what we did actually is we rolled the stops up a couple days later on the video we made on the 10th. We talked about rolling those stops up to the 7,800 range, and then today we've rolled them up several times as we've had this nice move off of 8,400. We rolled our stops up this morning back up to our initial entry for the entire position. And then as this thing has kept going, we wanted to, we talked about taking a profit as it got near 9,900. What we don't want to do is, as I look at it now, the high today is around 9,750. So we don't want to just miss that. So what we've done, instead of picking a price, is we've just continued to roll our stops up. And by doing that, and we're basically a couple hundred points below, the highs of where it trades. So our most recent stop now is at about 94.75. We want to put it just below that 9,500 if it bounces. That was a key number on the upside, and it is likely to be a key one on the downside. So if that can hold, we'll stay in the trade for the entire amount. If not, and it gets below 94.75, we're going to sell a quarter of the position out there. And we've moved the stop up on the entire position to 91.50, which is just below where today's flag pattern started after being at around 8,700. So a lot of movement on the upside today, and we're just tracking it all the way up and making sure that we don't get caught without getting anything sold. So that is the Bitcoin trade. We had a similar case in Ethereum, where on the 8th also we got in at 825. We had a 750 stop on that, and we've raised our stop several times. This morning we sold a quarter of the position at 915, and we put our stop on the entire position at that time at 835, which is just above our entry point.
And we still have a target at about 1100, right, David? That's what we're aiming for on that one.
Our long-term target. Yeah, we wanted it to, again, just make sure we're taking a piece of this off, and we're going to let the rest continue on its way as long as the pattern continues. We have currently a stop set on this at 890 for the entire position. So although our target is still up another 170 points or so from here, we've continued to roll our stops up. And this is a good case, John, where if we do get stopped up at 890 on this thing and it immediately jumps back up into 910, I wouldn't be afraid to get right back in it and say that, we were wrong with the stop. We got stopped out of that, but we think the pattern is going to continue on at that point. So that's how we've handled the two that we talked about back about 6 days ago. And I'm going to toss it back to you to talk about our new trade setup.
Yeah, and John, do you want to quickly cover Monero with us? We're obviously very bullish on Ethereum and Bitcoin. And what about Monero?
Okay, Monero's been one of the more interesting coins really for the last several months because privacy coins have become so popular. And even though you hear a lot of hype about Verge and Zcash and now Z Classic, which I want to talk about really quickly in a second, Monero is the only one that's out there that's actually proven that it can give anonymity, in every chance it's had. It's never been able to really recognize, who is transferring money to whom, whereas the other ones have their flaws they're still trying to work out. So Monero's king of privacy. Everybody kind of recognizes it for that. And that keeps it in the mix as a really powerful coin to have in your portfolio. Well, all these other coins, if you've been watching, we've had Bitcoin break out, made some money. We've had Ethereum break out, make some money. Everything moves with Bitcoin. We've talked about that in every show we've done so far, and that is what's still happening out there. So what's going on with Monero? Why isn't it broken out? Well, guess what? We've got a setup, and we're going to let David walk you through it, but let me draw it in so you can see, because David's a trade master, and I am the pattern guru. So I help him find where the trade should be, and he helps us define them and make us money. So we've got a nice inverse head and shoulders, just like Ethereum, just like Bitcoin, but just a little bit behind. Okay, so you've got your shoulder, head, shoulder. Now we've retested, and guess what? We're right. If I draw that line across, ooh, we're just a little above breakout, aren't we? So maybe Monero's playing a little catch up. We think it is because everything else seems to be breaking out, and Monero is still as strong as ever. I'll tell you one red flag, and we have a whole show we want to do in very soon that will give you a lot of good insights on how we found some secrets here. But we think Monero is going to follow the rest of the trend because everything else has. And David, why don't you walk them through how you might trade this pattern?
Yeah, well, this one, John, like you said, it sets up real nicely for us here with the current price right around 273, if I can read your price correct. It's last price 275. Let's call it 275 and be honest with it, and it's nice and round. So if we're going to enter here at 275, what you want to do when you're placing your stops is pick a point where you get the first indication that this pattern might have failed. Maybe it's not breaking out from this giant inverse head and shoulder pattern. So to me, that kind of stands out right at that right on the right shoulder. You see the low price around 215. I think that's a great place to put our stop, just below that, because again, if it's trading below 215 and you look at it again, it's not going to look quite as clean as what this pattern looks like here. Similar though to the Ethereum point that we just covered. Let's say we do get stopped out on that and it just goes a little bit below. Let's say our stop is at 215 and it trades down to 210 and immediately retraces and gets back up into 225 range. Again, this is not a trade I would be afraid to get right back in and have a tight stop. And if I'm wrong, I lose a little bit. If I'm right, I've only given up the amount between that initial stop and the higher price that we just bought at. So we have a lot more room on the upside on this. Our target is going to be, we'll probably take the first one at 350 or so, but our ultimate target is 400, as I see you typing that in there. So we really like the risk return on this, and we also like the fact that, like you said, John, a lot of everything is following Bitcoin. Bitcoin is broken out from that pattern, and we expect this one to do so as well.
Awesome. So you're obviously very bullish from Nether, since you're entering right now, and even entering if it goes down. So I'll take that as a very positive sign, and I think this is a nice place to end it, guys.
Yep.
Great. Thanks,
Okay.
Nicholas.
Sounds good. We've got more information on how this sets up and some secrets. We're going to use Bitcoin Cash in our next show. And we're going to show you, because that hasn't broken out either. And we want to show you how to find certain things on the daily chart that can give you some great edges on any trade you may decide to take in the current market.
That's awesome. And of course, you guys can always suggest which charts you want us to look at in the comments below. Thank you for watching.